2025, the roar of afterburners is more than a sound, it's a message. The world is in the midst of a high-stakes arms race, not on land or sea, but in the sky above. As the US, China, Russia, and their rivals invest billions in new fighter jets and stealth technology, air superiority has become the ultimate measure of military power and geopolitical influence. With more than 14,000 military aircraft and the largest fleet of stealth fighters on Earth, the United States still sets the standard for global air dominance. But US commanders now warn that this advantage is eroding, especially in Asia and the Middle East. America's edge lies in technology and global reach. Over 1,100 F-35s have been delivered, flying not only for the US, but for 18 partner nations from Japan to the UK. The US Air Force is racing to develop the next-generation air dominance, NGAD fighter, a sixth-generation stealth jet expected to reshape the battlefield before 2030. The Pentagon keeps squadrons forward deployed in hotspots, Guam, Japan, the Middle East, demonstrating readiness and resolve. But the margin for error is narrowing. 2 decades ago, China's Air Force was decades behind. Now, it's a true global competitor. With over 3,000 military aircraft, including almost 200 J-20 Mighty Dragon stealth fighters, China is producing advanced jets at record pace. In December 2024, 2 new Chinese stealth prototypes, likely the J-36, and an unnamed tailless fighter, made their first public flights, signaling Beijing's drive to leapfrog into the 6th-generation era. Its Navy too is flexing muscle. The Liaoning and Shandong carriers now conduct simultaneous Pacific patrols, with J-15 jets buzzing Japanese and American surveillance planes, at times within just 45 meters. China's air power isn't just about numbers, it's about reach. With tankers, AEW and sea aircraft, and growing drone fleets, China's Air Force now operates from the Western Pacific to the Middle East, including joint drills in Egypt and growing partnerships across Asia. Russia maintains the world's second-largest air fleet, around 4,300 military aircraft, but modernization lags behind its rivals. Its most advanced fighter, the Su-57 Felon, is scarce. Fewer than 20 are in service, far less than Moscow once promised. Instead, Russia relies on upgraded Su-30s, Su-30s, and MiG-31, plus a doctrine of high-risk aerial posturing. Russian jets frequently challenge NATO airspace. Just weeks ago, a Russian spy plane briefly entered Polish airspace, triggering an intercept by British Typhoon fighters. Similar incidents are routine over the Baltic and Black Seas. Russia's fighter exports are also shifting the balance. In 2025, Iran confirmed the purchase of Russian Su-35s, a move that immediately changed the calculus across the Middle East. While not at the technological level of the US, China, or Russia, Iran's Air Force has become a critical factor in the regional equation. For decades, Iran relied on aging US and Soviet jets from the 1970s and 80s. But now, the arrival of new Russian Su-35 fighters, along with an expanding fleet of indigenous drones, has forced both regional rivals and global powers to take note. In recent months, as tensions simmer across the Middle East, especially after a series of airstrikes, drone encounters, and missile launches, Iranian pilots have been seen conducting more aggressive patrols. The Su-35, with its advanced radar and super maneuverability, gives Iran new reach and credibility, even if its fleet is small. American and Israeli intelligence now monitor Iranian airspace and forward deployments more closely than ever. While there's no declared war, the skies over the Persian Gulf and Levant are crowded with F-35s, Su-35s, and a host of armed drones. Every sortie is a show of strength, and a reminder that any local spark could have global consequences. Today's jet war is as much about daily posturing as open conflict. Around the globe, rival jets push the boundaries. China-Japan, June 2025. Chinese carrier jets intercept Japanese P-3 patrol planes at dangerously close range. Russia-NATO. Russian bombers and fighters are intercepted hundreds of times each year near NATO borders. A Russian jet recently fired a missile at a British surveillance plane. Only a malfunction prevented disaster. US-China. Over the South China Sea, Chinese fighters routinely shadow American reconnaissance flights, sometimes within 10 feet, raising the risk of accident or escalation. Iran-Israel US and Israeli F-35s now fly regular patrols near Iran, closely tracking the new Su-35s. Drone skirmishes and electronic warfare are constant, each encounter a test of nerves and technology. Each episode highlights a dangerous truth. The margin for error is razor thin. With more advanced jets in more crowded airspace, the risk of a crisis, accidental or intentional, has never been higher. The arms race is also a marketplace. At the 2025 Paris Air Show, American F-35s, French Rafales, and German UK 6th-gen concepts vied for global attention. Meanwhile, China's Zhuhai Air Show showed off new stealth prototypes and drones, signaling Beijing's ambitions to lead not just regionally, but worldwide. The F-35 now flies for 19 nations, and new deals are pending across Europe and Asia. China sells advanced J-10C fighters to Pakistan and courts buyers in the Middle East and Africa. Russia, despite sanctions, finds clients in Algeria and especially Iran, whose new Su-35s mark a historic shift. Every jet sold is a new alliance, a signal of who stands with whom in an increasingly divided world. The jet war of 2025 is more than technology. It's a contest of strategy, nerves, and alliances. The US races to field 6th-gen fighters and AI loyal wingman drones. China's rapid advances keep Pentagon planners awake. Russia remains unpredictable, while Iran's Su-35s inject fresh volatility into the Middle East. Will these buildups deter war, or make it more likely? As stealth fighters and drones fill the skies, every near miss and every new jet sale shifts the balance. The story is still being written in daily intercepts, arms deals, and tense patrols. As jet engines thunder and new squadrons take flight, the world watches the clouds, knowing the fate of nations may be decided far above.